It should be the same thing.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about regex, which is just regular expressions. It's not really on the course, like
So that's what
the
that's
course
why you don't actually need that variable too.
list. It's not something they usually teach in this class, but I figure it's pretty important to have. You can use it in search. Most search engines will let you use regex. It's kind of a way to refine your searches, using like wildcards and using like if you're searching for just numbers in a line, you can use 0 through 9. Then 0 through 9, 0 through 9. If you're looking for like a phone number, but you don't know what the phone number is on a website, you can use regex to find that. So let's just dive on in.
Pleasure.
Let's just do an example first.
How do you pronounce that?
Regex, also known as regular expressions.
You like in Oklahoma City?
What's that?
You like in Oklahoma City?
I like it. Again, my eyes aren't super clear, so thank you for helping me. It's gonna be a pain. Then that's fine. I probably won't search my name. 3, 4, 5, 6.
You want us to put what you put on them for yours?
What?
Or you want us to put our stuff on?
I would put. I mean, this is an example I'm going to use, so I would use this example. If I was you. Yeah, I'm just wearing glasses. I can't even make out people's faces.
You love those drops.
That sting like hell. I'm having such a good day, so I'm pretty sure I drove by a dead body.
What?
There was a wreck. So the reason I was late to my eye appointment was the traffic was just real bad, and I was like, well, maybe something happened. Maybe there was like a wreck, or maybe they're just doing road work or something. And driving, so it's like just super slow. It took me like 45 minutes to drive 5 miles.
Wow.
When I got up to it, there was a fire truck, and then an ambulance blocking something. And I couldn't see what was on the other side, obviously, because of all the fire truck. But once I got to the other side, I look over, and it looks like one of those Honda SUVs, I heard of it called, but it was looked like if you take like a can, you like crush it on your forehead. It looked like an accordion, like a deflated accordion. And people were looking very somber, and they had it blocked off. So I'm pretty sure there was something not quite alive over there. So That was rough. And then I'm also having such a great. I mean, granted, they're having much worse day than I am. I'm not comparing my day to theirs, but I also put on 2 different shoes. So that's just the day I'm having.
Those Lakai's right there.
I have those Lakai's.
Mhm.
I have
Just trying to bash the same. That's all it is.
I have 7. Oh, not 7. Well, I have 6 shoes. 3 pairs. And they're all gray. So it was bound to happen one of these days. I really like gray shoes because they just feel like they go with everything.
Yeah.
I have 4 pairs of gray shoes. 1 pair is in my closet. So those aren't in the mix, but.
Under sells shoes that are mismatched on purpose.
Well, I'm just ahead of the
That's
curve.
crazy.
I'm just ahead of the curve. So. Okay.
Mismatched on purpose.
So, in most programming languages, you don't have this neat little function that Python has. So we can do for word in text. Let's use read. So what that statement does is it says for every word in this text, so everything that's separated by either a space, carriage return, anything like that, it's going to check that word. Most things you have to do for each something, or for you have to like explode it or implode it depending on what you're using. So word, if word is equal to so essentially I'm saying if a word is 0 through 9, any one of those, then print it. And I may have to change this. I'm not because I imported re, but see what happens. I'm not gonna like something. Nothing happens.
Word and 0 through 9.
So it's for each word in text. It's going through each word in this. If that word is equal to 0 through 9, print it. But it didn't work because I forgot something and I don't remember what. I don't make my notes. I'm using re in my notes, so. Stressing these.
What is read?
It's a recall. Yeah. I think it's a recall. Let's do. Actually, that's not the reason. I don't think that would change it, but. I think that's what it's looking for. No, it's not. That's fine. Okay. Let's try this. Let's do this instead. That's probably why it didn't work. What's that?
I said, what's read.findall?
Find all.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
We'll go over what some of this stuff means later. awesome. So awesome. There it goes. Okay. So those are specific to Word, and we'll go over those escape characters here in a little bit. So once you put that in there, it should print out all the numbers it finds, all the single numbers it finds. Essentially, any character that's between 0 and 9, it'll find. What's that?
I'll just read my after the
And all M is doing, it's as it searches this string, it assigns each word to the M. So as it's cycling through, it's just popping it in and checking it. We could call it something better.
Pretty much just searching for numbers.
You can call it word value. So for each word in there, it gets assigned a word value, and it's looking specifically, it's trying to find all the numbers in text, which is this right here, and then print word value. And that's why whenever I run it, I have 2 kids, 1 wife, and 6 guitars. It's a good ratio. See, I have 2 acoustics, 1 new electric, 1 old electric I never play. I have 5, and a bass, and a banjo, and a mandolin, and a violin. We'll say all those. If you break all those down and put them together, they'd make a guitar. So.
Yes, we're going to type exactly how yours is from what I can see, and it's not doing anything.
Did you do the rest of my statement up there?
Yep.
Okay.
All the way to the end of quotation.
Did you import re?
Uh-huh.
And this one's superfluous at this moment, but we'll go into it here in a little bit. This part right here exactly the same. So right here has to be exact. Cool thing about the not so cool thing about regex is if you make a small mistake, it totally ruins your results. And sometimes you can get regex that's like almost an entire screen long, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like item numbers, like say you have you're in a parts warehouse and all your parts have 16 number characters. If you use regex, you have to use 16 of those 0 to 9s, and if there's like a colon in between them, you can add a colon to certain spots because it'll look for the colon. It gets pretty hairy after a while, but Python has a lot of shortcuts that you don't have to use regex, but you may get into a job and not use Python. Like I use PHP and I didn't really know regex all that well. So at the very least, if someone says, do you know what regular expressions are, you can say yes. I don't know how to use them, but I know what they are. So, and I know how to look them up. Everyone get this working?
Nope.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't do anything?
No, it just prints the prompt, command prompt, so it's print online. As you can see, like I said, it's character for character what you have there. Unless I'm missing a space or something.
Oh, well, of course it's not gonna find. It's not gonna find the word two. You have to put 2, 1, and 6. The numbers, the digit values.
Ah, okay, so that'd be why.
It's not gonna look for. It doesn't know to look for. Okay, so did everyone look at your assignment this week?
Yes.
A little hairy looking.
There.
Let's throw in a date. 'Cause I think you use a date in that, don't you?
Yeah, you're
I
just
just searched that paragraph. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't like. Oh god. It doesn't really like return carriages, which I think if I. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't want to.
Put a period right there at the end of it.
Yeah, to tell it to include the next line. What am I using in this example? Use slashes, so I'll use slashes. So, if we want to find a date, kind of need to change this line a little bit. So, this is going to look real hairy here in a second. No, it could be anything. It could be 0 because it could be October. And then slash. Why am I using putting a slash right here?
Because it's searching for the date.
Yeah. So the date, if they use slashes, you can do slash, or you can always use or dash, or what else do you parse dates with? Underscore, whatever you wanted to use. But since I know it uses slashes, if your company uses slashes, you don't have to do all the ors and stuff. Or. And this last one, let's do 0 through 9. Like I said, there are much easier ways to do this, but we're not going to do it that way right this moment. Let's see if this works. Of course it's not. So we have to put it all in one line. Awesome. Awesome. There we go.
I might get it.
Make sure that looks the same and your regex looks the same.
So you're basically just putting it in to have a look at each individual numerical value throughout the day.
It's looking for this as a whole, though. So, like, if it just finds like if I were to put just some errant, it's not gonna find just errant numbers because it's looking for exactly
So look
number.
for it formatted like that.
Yeah, 0 through 1, 0 through 9 / 0 through 3 / or 0 through 9 / and then 4 in a row. There's a way you can truncate this last bit, and I'll show you here in a bit. But let's just do basic level regex right now. And like I said, this isn't normally taught in this class, so I probably won't grade too terribly harsh on it. And this is the answer to the first question, I think. Find the date. So
you can technically
remember
have
this.
0 through 9 on all the search strings on there and still do the same thing.
Yeah, it would find up to 99 / 99 / 9999.
That's word values.
Okay, usually just copy and paste it. So you can tag 9, copy that, paste, / paste, paste, / paste, 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 paste. I'm all for keyboard commands.
Oh yeah, that's how we cheat the system.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I had to learn a whole bunch of keyboard commands to fix the guy's computer one time. So he had a Windows 95, and his keyboard didn't quite have that little button right there, and he had no mouse.
Oh, so
So what's ESPN yelling at you for?
What?
What's ESPN yelling at you for?
hey, turns out I won. Player dancing football game.
Does anyone else have getting a value not defined?
No, mine actually pulled today.
That's good. Thanks, bro. I got 135 points this week, so. You watch.
World value.
Figure, hey, at least Sooners won him when Packers lost.
Come on, you don't have the dilated eyes. You should have been able to see the difference between word and world. My eyes all weird, big and weird looking.
Alright.
Almost looks like the anime people's.
Just regular word value. Oh,
It says word.
yeah. What you get?
World value is not the same as word value.
There it is. I got it.
Always assume you're the one that's broken, because that's usually correct.
Just remember, it's usually a pep check error.
Yeah, it's usually the person at the keyboard's problem. Yeah, no, right. So
you,
that's-
you know what a pep check error is, right?
No, what?
Problem pep check error.
Pep decker?
Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Oh, okay. That is me, I guess.
So that's the answer to your first part. What else do I ask? Find all the instances of Japan or Japanese. So let's see. Let's change our. Everyone have this?
Yes.
Oh.
I actually think
I don't want to just put it up like I did last time, because I feel like that was too easy. You guys could just literally copy and paste. But that was, admittedly, that was a pretty daunting assignment, the functions one. So this one shouldn't. This one should be pretty easy if you just follow what I show you. We'll just leave that one there.
And when we do this assignment, are we putting the speech in like Notepad++ or idle?
You'll have to.
You'll have to put that entire speech into exactly how you put text equals.
And you gotta kill all the carriage returns, all the like enter keys, all the it's called a carriage. Whenever you hit enter, you're not putting in an enter, you're putting in a carriage return. Like you remember on like a typewriter, type ding, and you like shove it back. That's what you're doing whenever you hit enter.
So it has to be on one line.
Has to go on one line.
Okay, so
It might
real long.
idle and Notepad++ might eventually have a wrap. If you, I don't know if I can turn word wrap on. Anybody see it?
Kind of working a
Yeah,
little bit
it's right
ahead
there.
right now, but like we're not supposed to deal with like the ants and worms and stuff.
There it is. Well, that's a lot easier. Oh, Christ. I was supposed to get it done at 8:10. I figured it'd have enough time to kind of wear off, but nope. Okay, so let's. I don't wait a little. That's fine. Oh.
How come yours went around like that?
He turned word wrap on.
Then I turned word wrap on.
We'll have no function.
It's under view, right? Or it's under edit?
Yeah, view. I'll turn it off just for now.
Is it just because your screen was smaller that it was going there?
Yeah, because I'm zoomed in so much. Okay, so let's change our. Let's add another text. Let's add text to.
Zooming out on it.
Let's see. We need something that we can search multiple iterations of.
My house.
I'll turn word wrap on for this. Make it a little easier. Worship just one word, one P. That looks funny. I don't like it. I think you should have two P's. Damn you.
2 pieces.
Damn you, English language. You know, skepticism is the longest word that you alternate hands on each letter on a keyboard. If you're typing properly, just SKEPET. Skepticism. And Bolognier has the most double characters in a word. It's the longest word, and that's the most double.
What's the longest word you can type with one hand?
I don't remember.
Stewardesses.
Stewardesses.
It's all right there on the left
Cats
side.
drool, dogs drool. I'm not dropping the dog.
That's fine. You have to take it with somebody. I'm sorry that it's hard to earn the affection of a cat. You can't just throw food at them and expect, and they, love you.
I'm allergic to cats.
Well, you gotta remember, dogs have owners, cats have staff.
Cats have staff.
You gotta work hard to earn the love
Staff,
of a cat.
servants, what do we call it?
Yeah.
So that's why cats are the best.
If you're not the wrong.
My cats are really sweet. My cats are sweet to everybody. It just depends on how you raise them. If you rough house with them, they'll be kind of jerks.
Yeah.
But if you're very sweet, they'll usually be very sweet. And if you socialize them, we had parties at our house when our cat was a kitten, so everyone would pick her up and pet her, and so she's super friendly.
I just wish I wasn't allergic to them at all.
You can get a hairless one, which
That'd be awesome.
you can buy. You can buy hairless cats. They're
So ugly.
they're
so great.
they're like you think that they would act totally different, but they act like exactly like normal cats. It's really weird, but they're really sweet for the most part. Like that's a sweet breed. People just think they're ugly, so you don't see a lot of them. Poodles are if you're allergic to dogs, poodles are good.
Closest thing to cats for a dog.
It'd be like a Pomer. I don't know. Pomeranians are way too hyperactive. I don't know.
Not
A
as much
Shih
as
Tzu
Jack
maybe.
Russell.
A Shih Tzu would be it's kind of cat-like.
Bad dog. Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
Bad.
They're kind of prissy. Or what is it? Not a Pomeranian. What's the Yorkie? Yorkies are pretty cool. I would never own a small dog though. I'm gonna have a dog. I'm like a German Shepherd or something.
Instead of like a furry football.
Yeah, I don't want a yappy dog.
Oh.
Okay.
I've had a few Rottweilers. They're good.
German Shepherds are probably my favorite.
I wanted to get a Newfoundland Pyrenees.
Newfies are awesome.
Can't go wrong with a dog that's big enough for your toddler to ride. Like a Newfoundland or an Akita.
Mm-hmm. Newfies are giant.
Or German Wolfhounds. Or,
Irish Wolfhound. Those things are weird looking though, like with wire hair.
They're like a combination of Greyhound and Great Dane.
Yeah. Okay.
Only scarier.
So, we want to find all the iterations of cat. So, I'm going to do for I'm not using camel casing. I'm going to use camel casing on this one. Let's not do that. Okay. And we're going to do these exercises so you guys kind of have an idea of what to do for yours. And then we're actually going to go through what the /B means, what the /W means. We might do that on Thursday. We'll just go through that list, and I'll answer questions if you guys have some. Wednesday will be a in-class work day, so because I don't really want to answer questions all weekend.
You're not doing the colon?
What?
The colon?
Thank you. I need you guys to be my eyes, because I looked at it and I didn't see anything.
Is this supposed to be 8 spaces, or does it matter for the print?
What?
For the print, is it supposed to be 8 spaces, or?
No, it's 4.
He's probably wondering because on line 6 you got 8.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I had an if statement there before, and I got rid of that and kept the spacing. Okay, let's see if it works. I don't think it will exactly how we want, because I only say cat once. Cats. So it only finds cats. Why does it only find cats?
Is it because cat kind is one word?
Or because of the first instance of the word cat is cats. And it just finds that one and stops.
Well, I think the /B is what's causing our issue. I think it worked on the other one, but let's try this. It should just find cat. I don't know why it's finding cats. Let's trim it down. Oops, gotta save it first. There you go. So all it's doing is finding cat. And I only say that here and where's the other one?
To the right.
Cat.
On the right side. Oh, you're just cat by itself?
Yeah, it's cat by itself.
The cat by itself is only there once, but cats is there twice.
So this is part of the fun in regex. Why is it finding 2 cat? I wonder if we need to break the beginning part. Still doing that. Let's kill that. Cat. Interesting. Well, that's not really good enough. We want to find cats as well. So, who knows what the wildcard character is?
The capital? Let's see.
This star. I asterisk, if you will.
Oh,
So now it should
32.
find crap. Well, it's a little better. That's not finding anything. Cat. Because I capitalize them. Okay, so this is correct. So essentially what we're finding is just cats and cat. The reason we were having an issue last time, the reason it said cats, because it was finding cat and just printing it. It wasn't including what was after it, so I was getting kind of a false positive. But the reason it's not picking up these other ones, because this one's capitalized and this one's capitalized. So we can do there we go. So essentially what I said was find C or capital C, followed immediately by an AT, and then anything after that. Any word that starts with C, big C, AT, and anything after, include in our search. So if this were Japan, or say, or Japanese, you would just replace the first part with Japan. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So Japan instead of the C, C cat.
Yeah. You could put lower. I don't think there's any lowercase j's in that sentence, so you could just use capital J, APAN. There's a way to make it case insensitive, but let's not worry about that right now. I think it's just I. You put I at the very end. Like if I were to do /I, I think that would. You don't have to write this down, but I'm just gonna check it real quick. I think that makes it case insensitive. Nope, doesn't like that. That's what it is in Python, at least. Forget how to do it. No. Okay. Python's probably a little different. We can look at our cheat sheet. Okay, so question mark I. We go. Is that before or after the? See if we put it inside the. Nope, nothing like that either. Something like that. Not sure where you put it in Python. No, it has to be at the beginning. Oh, it's in parentheses. Ah. There we go. So that's how to do it case insensitive. Question mark I in parentheses followed by whatever you want to search. See how that website's useful? Pretty much anything you want to do, you can just look it up. And that's what I do at work. So. What does /W do? Okay, so it's looking for any wildcard, but specifically letters and numbers, or an underscore. In Python 3, it's word character, ideogram, digit, or underscore. So, a little bit different. You gotta look up the one you're using. Capital W is one character that is not a word. It's like those characters over there. and the plus is one or more. So it's looking for one or more any character that is a letter. Is essentially what this right here means. So there's an explanation of that. So that's the first two questions. I forget what the other two ones. In order to make this into a counter, you can just say like if word value you can just move this line down to here, like if word value is equal to, and then put this in there, counter equals counter plus 1 or counter equal plus 1. That's how you would make it a counter, because I think I asked how many times it says Japan, not to print it out. So I trust you guys could figure that out. But if not, bring your questions Thursday and I'll help you. And then we'll go over the last two questions, which I think is just different iterations of this.
That's asking how many characters on the string,
Oh yeah.
not counting spaces, and how many E's to include capital and lowercase.
So that one is just for character in find all, and E, capital E. That one's pretty easy. And then this, we haven't talked about string length and how to remove white spaces before you do it. So essentially for that one you make a text equal to, like, you essentially make shrunk text equals remove all spaces text, and then string length. That's how you do that. And that tells you how many characters long it is. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. My eyes hurt. Your brain's probably hurt. I see a lot of vacant stares. I understand. Like I said, this isn't. I'm not even going to include that. We're going to have a midterm next week, so we're just going to have class Monday. Come in, take the quiz, and no class Thursday unofficially. Don't tell people that I'm not having class. I'm going to call it a work at home day. We're having a work at home day next Thursday. I will be here for 10 minutes to let other people know that we are having a work at home day. So, any questions?
Lots, but I'll wait till Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday will be your day to ask questions.